Italian Football Podcast.
Let's preview Italy versus Northern Ireland. It's D-Day for Italy on Thursday at the New Balance Arena in Bergamo. It's the World Cup 2026 qualifying playoff semi-final, the UEFA semi-final. Winner goes to the final to play either Wales or Bosnia and Herzegovina away in the final on Tuesday, the 31st of March. I'll go through the squads quickly. Italy squad: Caprile, Carnesecchi, Donnarumma, Meret. Defenders: Bastoni, Buongiorno, Calafiori, Cambiasso, Coppola, Di Marco, Gatti, Mancini, Palestra, Scalvini, Spinazzola. Midfielders: Barella, Cristante, Frattesi, Locatelli, Pizzilli, Tonali, and the forwards: Chiesa, Esposito, Keane, Politano, Raspadori, Retegui, and Scamacca. The players that are injured are not there: Vicario, Di Lorenzo, Leoni, Udogi, Zaccagni, Scamacca.
He's pulled out.
Has potentially pulled out, but I'm seeing reports this morning that isn't actually official yet, so we'll see there. And also, Bastoni has a bruised fibula and will have tests. And Mancini picked up an injury for Roma against Lecce and will also have tests. So recording this on Monday, so let's see. Now, the new players that get called up: Palestra gets his first senior call up. Chiesa's back after nearly 2 years. Pizzilli and Scalvini are also back in for the first time in a while. Right, my reaction to the squad is, look, I would have called Kayode. I would have called an extra winger because we only have two wingers, which means we can't start with a winger system. It means we can only kind of bring on wingers to kind of rescue the game. And it suggests to me that 3-5-2 will certainly be the formation we use. What's your reaction to Italy's squad? Did you like it?
Well, I'm reading reports now that Chiesa's pulled out of the squad and Cambiaghi has been called up.
No.
And I don't know what that is. Yeah, he says, I see now, Sky, Chiesa is ritenuto non disponibile. And Cambiaghi's been called up instead. I don't know if that's an injury or if he's pulled out. If he's pulled out, he should never play for the Italian national team again. That's that simple. I mean, if Chiesa is behaving, he's deemed unavailable. It says, I don't know what deemed unavailable means. And
I think it's got to be, it's got to be a bit of an injury. Yeah, Chiesa non al meglio, so he must be physically he must not be physically at his best.
Yeah. Well, then that means, and Cambiaghi being called up instead. I don't know. This suggests to me that I would have had Michael Kayode for sure. I would have definitely have Michael Kayode, but at the end of the day, does it really matter? Because the other players that are there, and I mean, I would have had him in the squad, but it's not like one of those instances where if if Kayode's not called up, Italy don't make it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think he's a great player. I think he deserves to be in the squad. I'd like to see him ushered in to perhaps fight for a starting lineup, but it's not the end of the world, if that makes sense. What is, however, really, really worrying, I like is
Chiesa. Sorry, just to stop you there. Chiesa actually reported to Coverciano. And they tested him and he was deemed not fit enough, so he did actually go there. He didn't just call from Liverpool and say no, I'm not playing. So
they've tested him, so there's a physical problem. Then he's there and they've tested and he's not fit. Well, I mean,
I don't know whether I would have called Zaniolo after that amazing assist that he got at the weekend, but I guess they don't understand somebody that can play on that side as well, because they've only got on the wings. They've got Politano on one side, and they needed a left-sided player. But come on, if we're desperate to rescue the game, and we're going Politano and Cambiaghi on the wings, then I think we are really desperate. So
and also another thing I'm worried about is I'm worried that he's going to play a 3-5-2, a system he doesn't control, because I think this squad, the players you have, this formation is a 3-5-2. But I don't think the coach knows how to play a 3-5-2. This is, again, it's been like this pretty much since Mancini left. and it's starting to frustrate me. It's really starting to frustrate me now, because these are just simple unforced errors. Like, don't, if you have a system, again, what we talked about before, find an identity, find even a formation that you want, and then bring in the manager that suits that. Have a red thread. And they don't, and now it's too late. Now here we are at the end of March, the World Cup playoffs are going to start, and you still don't know what the formation is. I don't know, man.
I mean, listen, if we go to Italy's probable 11, I'll tell you what it's likely to be, and then let's both say who we would play, right? So the probable 11 is 3-5-2. I mean, that is for certain it's going to be a 3-5-2, because you've just got to look at the players he's called up in the squad.
Yeah.
And you've got to look at the lack of wingers, wide options that there are. Your only two wingers are Politano and Cambiaghi. I mean, you're not playing a winger system. They're going to be there as maybe, if you're absolutely desperate and you just want to throw everyone on and go maybe 4-2-4 and just put on two wingers. I don't know. That's what they're there for. I don't even see the point of them being there but anyway, for a winger system. But anyway, 3-5-2. Donnarumma in goal. Mancini, Bastoni, Calafiori, if they're fit. Mancini and Bastoni are having tests to see. Politano, Barella, Locatelli, Tonali, Di Marco. So Politano and Di Marco, the wing backs. Barella, Locatelli, Tonali, the centre mids, and then Retegui and Keane. Now that's the probable 11. The team I would play. So if I was the Italy manager, I would go 4-4-2. I would go Donnarumma, Palestra, Bastoni, if fit. Otherwise, Coppola, Calafiori, Spinazzola at left back, then Barella, right midfield, Tonali and Locatelli, centre midfield, Di Marco, left midfield, and then Keane and Retegui. The reason I would pick that team is because the same reason as you said, I don't trust Gattuso being capable of using a 3-5-2, and we've seen actually whenever Italy have used a 3-5-2, it's been pretty disastrous across multiple managers now, and we saw it in the last game against
because
Norway.
they don't appoint a manager that can play a 3-5-2.
Yeah.
Like, so that's the problem.
So I would. That's why I would use the 4-4-2, because we haven't got the wingers good enough to play a 4-3-3. So there's no point me sitting here and saying let's play a 4-3-3 and let's put Politano and Cambiago as the wingers. They're just not. We're not going to be strong enough to break down the opponents. So I would go 4-4-2, and Barella can play as this kind of hybrid right centre midfield / right midfield. He often plays there anyway when he's supposed to be playing centre midfield, and at least he'll protect Palestra, and we'll let Palestra be the kind of the bombing player going forward and getting at which he can do, and let Barella be protective. And then on the other side, I don't want Di Marco at left back because I don't trust him defensively. I think Spinazzola, although Spinazzola is not the strongest defensively, he's better than Di Marco defensively. And I want to have Di Marco further up the pitch where he can put in those crosses to Keane and Retegui.
I would play the same team, but instead of Spinazzola, I'd have Calafiori at left back. I'd have Bastoni, Coppola in the middle. And Palestra. And a reason for that is because I would like to have, I don't want to have Spinazzola and Di Marco on the same wing. I think that's a little bit, I don't think you get balanced that way. But with Barella, Tonali, and Locatelli, it's a 4-4-2 off the position, like on the pitch, just without possession. But in possession, it actually transforms to a 3-5-2, because when Tonali and Locatelli, one of them, when they drop deep and protect the defense, you have Barella and Tonali or Locatelli kind of covering in front. Then you have Palestra and Di Marco charging forward. And Calafiori or Bastoni, whoever plays left back, can actually can overlap if needed when you're playing against a team that is defending deep the way that Northern Ireland we expect them to do. So, it's I would go this way, but the only difference is I would play either Di Marco or Spinazzola as a left midfield, but not both of them. That's the only difference.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good point about being able to use the back, move into a back three, but also I guess also dependent on the opponents. Like against Northern Ireland, who I think we know how Northern Ireland are going to play. We're going to have the ball. They're going to be put a low block, defend, try and counter attack, and do we need that extra centre back against a team like that? Probably not. But against Wales, away from home, or even Bosnia, you're away. You probably do. Maybe you do need that more. So I would maybe lean more towards yours in that game if we get there,
Yeah.
hopefully. And against Northern Ireland, be a little bit more, attacking. But listen, we'll see. There's obviously the injuries. There's Bastoni. Let's see how fit he is. I think it's a bizarre one. That he's only got a bruise, and he's been out for this long. Like, that doesn't really make much sense to me. It'd have to be really severe bruising to be out for this long with a bruised fibula. It sounds strange to me. Internal bruise.
Oh, what you're telling me? You're telling me that Inter lie about their players' injuries? Whatever do you mean? I mean, it's ridiculous.
What's the point? It's just weird. I don't get it. But yeah.
I mean, nothing will ever beat Lukaku's back next week for 6 months. I mean, that is just like, that's when, at that point, when that happened, I was like, I'm done. And then he, being an idiot that he is, comes out after Inter have reached the Champions League final against Milan at the San Siro and says, yeah, I had a really serious injury for the first time in my career. So it's like, I'm done. I don't believe a damn word they say until he's actually on the pitch. The same thing with Lautaro. Until he's actually on the pitch, I don't give a shit how many times Gazzetta or Corriere or Tuttosport says Lautaro is back against Fiorentina. Lautaro is back against Roma. No, until he's standing there on the pitch, I don't believe it, because Inter lie about injuries.
Yeah. Okay. Moving back to the game. I mean, Northern Ireland. Conor Bradley is injured. That's a big blow for Northern Ireland. He's an important player. Daniel Ballard is a potential doubt because he got his hamstring strain for Sunderland. In terms of Northern Ireland's team, they'll be a 5-3-2 as 5-3-2 or 3-5-2, but more of a 5-3-2 as well. So both teams kind of doubling up each other, which is interesting. Connor Hazard in goal plays for Plymouth Argyle, who are a mid-table team in League One. That's the third tier. And then they've got McConnell from Norwich City. He's an interesting player. Paddy McNair and Kieran Brown. They're playing in the second tier for Hull and Oxford. Then you've got Jamal Lewis. You've got Try Hume, who's a good player, plays for Sunderland in the Premier League. Midfield, Brad Leons plays for Kilmarnock in the Scottish Premier League. Galbraith of Swansea in the English Championship. McDonald plays for Oxford as well. And then in attack, Jamie Donnelly and Isaac Price, who play for West Brom. So, Dion Charles as an option, Huddersfield. So we're talking about a team that's made mostly of Championship, League One, Scottish League players with the odd Premier League player there, here or there. So, really, even for all Italy's troubles, there's no excuses. Italy's form guide, not really much to read into it because they're playing against weak opposition, other than obviously the 4-1 defeat at home to Norway. They've been scoring a lot of goals, but they've also been conceding a lot of goals. And as for Northern Ireland, they have been up and down, but their games have been generally low scoring recently. They only lost 1-0 to Germany, lost 1-0 to Slovakia. They beat Luxembourg 1-0. So, Italy shouldn't expect to just go there and blow them away. Odds are Italy 1-4, draw 18-5, Northern Ireland 8-1. My prediction, I'm saying 2-1 Italy. That's what I'm going for. So I don't care though. As long as we get to the World Cup,
I think Italy win this 2-0. I don't think they concede in this game. I think they win 2-0. I'm not too worried about this. I don't think it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be it's going to be an ugly game. It's going to be annoying and gut wrenching and whatever. But I do think they get 1 or 2 goals in and they win. I really think so.